Oh, hi, this is Srinivas Kaveti again, signing in from New York. Today, what we are going to talk is bullying legal or illegal in America? The federal law says bullying in the schools is unlawful, and the many state governments, states have come up with the law. In Texas, there's a law called David Law. The interesting story of a David Law is there's a gentleman called David committed suicide because he was bullied and cyberbullying by his classmates in Texas. So he committed suicide. And after that, there was a big movement in Texas, and the Texas legislature came with a law called David Law. The David Law says that bullying is an offense, that if anybody commits bullying in the schools, they could be punished criminally, like harassment or bullying. There are so many other things in the schools. Here in Texas, there is last week there was a bullying by a white boy to an Indian boy. And the boy's name is Sean Priestman, the Indian boy. And for, I guess, for privacy purposes, they did not give too much of details about the initial aggressor. But here in this case, that video went very viral. This white kid who was practicing wrestling, his father was a board of trustee in Coppell Middle School. Sorry, they were in the lunchtime. The white kid was bullying and harassing, chokeholding the Indian kid, and after that also he put him down, and after that also he was bullying that Indian kid. So that video became very viral, and parents got concerned. When the superintendent summoned both the students, the victim was penalized for school suspension for 3 days, and the initial aggressor, the white boy, was only penalized for only 1 day. People are of an opinion that the reason he was not penalized because the white boy's father, initial aggressor's father, was a board of trustee in Coppell Middle School. That's one argument, and two, because they were they were investigating. They found out that there was an altercation by the school superintendent. That there was an altercation before, and the Indian kid was threatening the white kid. So because that happened in the lunchtime. And the other thing, when you look at it, the police were also not pressing charges. Why? Because these both are two minors. They're 14 years, I guess, both of them, sixth graders, and the lunchtime in the cafeteria. So they looked at it as a school altercation, and the police is not involved. They're not getting involved, and the superintendent gave a statement saying that they're investigating thoroughly. However, but in such cases, when you see in America, after George's case, Black Matters Lives, things are getting more. And if you see in America, more bullying is happening in the schools. So this is not a good connotation, because America means we accommodate everybody, equality of law, equal protection of law, and especially if the parents and if the kids are not being curtailed at that stage. As we see many times in Florida and other states in the schools, the kids are coming with guns and they're shooting. And if they don't curtail at this stage, I guess harassment and bullying is the initial step of causing some harm or security, causing some pain to a fellow student. If that is not curtailed and if they're not punished at this initial stage, I guess this will go out of their hands. In my opinion, whatever has happened, there are two sides we can see. One, when you see the video, we feel as if they're playing in the lunchtime. And two, the parents of the victim says that no, they were not playing, because the white kid was practicing wrestling and he was bullying him before. When you look at the cases like this, we have to see the history of parties, whether they had any altercations before, or did they have any problem before. Did this white guy caused any bullying in the past? Is he a habitual guy? There are many factors one has to look into it when we are and when we make any opinion or give any opinion. The parents of the victim, they come up with a petition, and looks like they want to do some gathering in front of the school. They want to give some petitions to the government and to take some severe action. In my opinion, because this has got two sides of it. One, if you in Gandhi said, don't punish the sinner, punish the sin. Don't reform the sinners. I would say that if the boys like this, if they are reformed, if they're being sent to some counseling, and if they give, if it comes to a good note outside, it will be a harmonious thing. Otherwise, it will be a big movement in the country, and there'll be a rift between the colored guys and white guys. So my personal opinion is that they should not make it a political issue. I think looks like there are some groups are trying to make it politicized, because if this gets politicized, the kids will not be able to go to school. There will not be any harmony between the friends, and this is a bad connotation or a bad signal outside for school kids. I guess they're all students of below 14 years minors. In the criminal law, they will not have an intent. The children will not have an intent of malice or ill will. I would see that even though the aggressor was heavily built, the other thing is because he's also learning wrestling, that factor has to be seen, because he could endanger the life by doing certain experiments or tricks on fellow students. So in my opinion, this should not go to, it should not be politicized. They should be solved between the parties, and they should have some sort of a counseling, and other kids should not harbor to such measures, and it should give a good message to people at large, so that this will not be repeated all over the country. And this is just my opinion. There's not any legal advice or anything. And I've seen some videos that both the parties have retained some lawyers. When it goes to lawyers, and they would like to litigate the facts. So it is a school dispute, and it should not end up in the courts. A dispute between two parents, and between two communities, or between two races. They should not take it to that level. That's my opinion. And this is just an opinion of mine. We're not trying to give any legal advice. So this is what it is.